lose constantly. And I feel like them being in that environment was better. I think it's cool as well that we had like effectively we had HLE winning LCK Cup and First Stand. We had Genji winning MSI and LCK, and then we had T1 winning Worlds. We had like such a diverse spread of teams being successful. That was pretty cool. For us in general, like personally, other than when I had like chronic migraines, which started up this year for some reason. When that got resolved, that was great. But that was like the sad period.
Mhm.
But LCK was great. LCK was fun, had a great time. I think there's definitely, I mean, there's always some teams I feel like if they just changed one player, things would be better. I think there was one of the things I was really thinking about KT and Nongshim was that they really had like a weak point, but I think they were different in some ways because I think Perfect was the weak point for me for KT, but I think part of that was like the team really let him out to dry in a lot of situations. I'm not saying the blame doesn't like go on him at all, but I think that was definitely a factor. Is that like he just felt like brutalized sometimes by some teams, and the team didn't do him any favors. Um, and for Nongshim it was really Jiwoo, which is unfortunate because Jiwoo like 2023 was really good, but this year he was just not it. Jiwoo was just so underwhelming, and it felt like there were so many games where like he'd make these big blunders, like it was actual blunders that would like lose so much for the team, and it felt like the team really lost, considering how good Nongshim were at the start of the year. It felt like they really lost any hope by the end of the year. Like Lehen started playing really badly, and I think he was just mega tilted. Like, some people might say, "Oh, this is cool. This is an excuse," but I feel like you could see he just wasn't. It felt like he had to take a lot of the game into his own hands. Like he was playing stuff like Elise and stuff like that. Joanna's real height, 4'11". He wears platforms. You ever seen that episode of The Simpsons where Bart wants to be so it's Radioactive Man, it's his sidekick, and they're doing a film, and Bart wants to be him, and he's like, "Oh, you'd be perfect if you were just 3 inches taller." And then Bart has all these methods to like make himself taller, like he spikes his hair up, and he wears platforms and stuff like that, and he has like a little dog next to him. He monitors all of those. Why do you think his hair's so big, right? He's just he gets extra height. um, What do you want KT to do differently around Perfect? Did you want them to draft more towards him? No, I actually feel like they drafted towards him a lot. They gave him his Rumble a lot. They gave him the Scion a lot, which is something he felt comfortable on. I think the real issue was there were scenarios where like Perfect would just be getting like focus top, his wave would be in a terrible position, and he'd just be left out to dry. Like he'd get no assistance from the team. Like these sort of scenarios where like you need a bailout, right? Not even through your own like it's not his own fault he's been put in that situation. But like sometimes you just need a bailout, and the team just wasn't willing to give him any favors. It was like you're on an island, literally. It felt like sometimes Perfect was just really on an island. And then I think sometimes it was on him. Like I think a player like Keen is really good at like reading when to back off and when to play safe. But sometimes it's like no playing safe will really actually help you. I think also later in the game, I don't know if this was down to Perfect or the team. The lane assignments later in the game always were just Rockdam and BDD farming waves, and it felt like Perfect was overgrouping and losing out on farm. Like I remember games where like he'd come out of lane not even that bad on Rumble, and then he'd end up getting like Flame Horizon by the late game just because he wasn't catching waves. He was hanging around with the team, and I don't know whether it was him or the team, just like didn't trust him not to be in a side, didn't trust him to be in a side lane. I'm like, no, you need to be there, and it was like, yeah, it was pretty rough. I feel like, um, again, I don't think Perfect was obviously the weakest player on the team, right? And I'm not like criticizing KT and saying like he would have been like the best player on the team if they just played towards him. But I do think like a lot of the situations he ended up in, he just didn't get any favors from his team, so it just exacerbated the situation. So yeah, but it is what it is. Obviously, they had a great run of Worlds, so they just have to lock in. Which team are you most excited to see this year? I think probably
There is a correct
HLE.
Yeah, I was about to say there's a correct answer.
You know, Genji hasn't really changed. Well, hasn't changed. T1, I think pays pays is kind of similar to the player, like in my view, that like smashes. And so, obviously they wanted to, at some point they wanted to try out Smash. Stuck with Guma in the long term, but this kind of feels like, okay, we're going to give this like funnel resources, pentakill monster sort of player a go. And you can see it's in Kespa. Obviously it's Kespa, right? But you can see the strategy they're sort of going for there. But I'm really interested in HLE because Kanavi coming back to the LCK is interesting. I think Kanavi, especially in like the JDG run, was like insane, and that MSI that they won, I think he was just so good. But then also Guma on a new team, right? Because no matter what your feelings are about Guma versus Pays versus Smash, Guma obviously had a phenomenal performance at Worlds and got Worlds MVP, Finals MVP rather. It's cool to always see like when a player has been extremely successful in their careers, but only on one team. It's always interesting to see how things will go when they're in a different environment on a different team, which is obviously the HLE situation. So I think there's a lot of question marks there, and I'm very interested to see how that pans out. Yeah, and also, yeah, I think D plus looks fun. It's just I have some concerns about D plus, and it ain't the players, is all I'm gonna say. Right? It's not top lane, it's not jungle, it's not mid, it's not AD carry, it's not support.
Yep.
But I have some concerns, right? Here's hoping. By the way, I'm sorry I outed you, Jamana. I said that you were 4'10". What was it, 4'11"?
No, I mean that's fine, bro. Anyone
Said, you know that
who's
Simpsons episode where they're making a Radioactive Man movie and Bart wants to be Fallout Boy, like the sidekick,
yeah.
but he's too short. Do you remember that episode?
Mm.
And he does the audition. And he's like, "That is the best. He's perfect. It's exactly what I'd be saying if you were 3 inches taller." And then Bart comes back with like all these strategies to make himself taller. Like he's spiked his hair up. He's wearing like these big platforms. He's got like a little dog next to him. I said, you do all of those, and that's why your hair is so big for the extra inches.
Yep, no, it's true. You shave my head, I'm
Yeah,
actually just like you said, I'm just 4'11". Like I lose an entire 30 centimeters of height. Just
I believe
gone.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, actually, you've been keeping up with any of the LPL transfers at all, or no?
A
I
little
know I
bit,
was
yeah.
just like, you see the BLG roster?
Isn't BLG? Don't they have Shun again? And they
So
have
they have Shun and they have Viper.
and Viper, yeah. Yeah, bro. I've been keeping up with their Vipers going because you fucking left, dude. You see my tweet about how because when I was casting LPL,
Hmm.
Viper was there, and then when I went to LCK, he came at the same time. So like
Oh, really?
we've been best buds, for 5 years, and now he's ditched me.
Dude, if only there was an official LPL broadcast for you to go and rejoin, so you could go and stay with him.
Yeah. If only.
If only.
Really, if only.
But yeah,
Is what it is.
I'm like very apprehensive about that BLG roster though, because like, high key, very very high key, that's super team like territory. You know what I mean? Like those transfers kind of make it a super team, and I don't. When's the last time you saw a super team like put together that actually super teams? You know?
JDG
I mean, besides
2023.
JDG. Yeah, besides JDG 2023, that's like the only team, right? Like there just really hasn't been.
I also think, like, to be honest, I don't think to me, I don't think like I have a huge issue with the players alone, but like clearly BLG was having some major issues last year, right?
Yeah.
Rotating jungler situation,
Mm-hmm.
their world's performance. Has this fixed anything, right? Is the question that we don't know the answer to, right? Because Viper's a great player, but So was
So was Elk. Like Elk wasn't
Elk.
bad.
Yeah,
Like
I know Elk is a great player.
yeah,
Like
like we
the thing
really
is,
shouldn't downplay him.
and also AD carry generally isn't responsible for the systems of the team, right?
No.
Like
No, no,
like
no.
you look at T1 switching Guma for Pays, it's definitely going to change things a lot, right? But you
But
know
that's
the
like a context.
systems
That's
of the
like a
team.
context thing, right? Like the systems of the
If I
team are actually going to change because of like the draft philosophy and stuff, and the gameplay philosophy will actually change because Pace is there.
well, yeah, but if you think about like the impact of changing a player like Faker, Carrier, or Owner, it would have a lot
Yeah,
more on how the
yeah,
team
yeah.
played.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, they're playing around Pays differently, and Guma was a very independent AD carry at times. But the point I'm trying to make is that like, you know, AD carries are it's not that common that they're the ones like shot calling or dictating like a lot of the macro elements. So I don't know. But again, it's not even just about that. It's like what was going on in the environment behind the scenes, right?
Mm.
I don't know. Who knows?
Not me. But yeah, I'm apprehensive simply because I don't think it's like. Oh goodness me, what a fucking dive. Fair play.
Oh, and
Yeah, dude.
Reyes lives as well, big.
I'm streaming on disc if you
Oh, I should look at that. Okay, yeah.
yeah, and just so it's live for you. But yeah, like that's the roster I'm excited for. But do you know what roster I'm actually high-key excited for? Like more so than BLG? It's actually JDG's lineup. Do you know it or no?
I think JDG looks cool. Yeah,
Bro.
remind me. I'm pretty. I saw it before, but
So it's Xiaoshu top, who I'm not gonna lie, JDG was like a sinking ship last year, or this year, I guess. We're still in December, and they brought in Xiaoshu. You probably remember Xiaoshu from like his RA days, right? Like I think that's when he was just like kind of coming in, and it's like he was just kind of silently getting slightly better. And I always kind of describe in top, and I know you'll get this, where it's like you normally have like the elite kind of like top 5 to 6 top laners, right? Because there's just so many in the LPL. And then there's normally what I like to call the hurdle top laner, where it's like, if you are better than this guy, then you probably can start to contest the elite top. So like, for a little while, I used to consider like a player like ZDZ, like the hurdle player, where it's like, if you can beat ZDZ and you can do it consistently, then you're about to start doing like you're about to start like entering the bottom half of the elite like players, like individually, So Xiaoshu kind of like turned into that player. And on JDG with, mind you, Shun, Scout, Pays, and for a small time Missing. Actually, was he there when Missing was there? I think he might have just come in when Missing left. But like, he was the best looking. I think it was Joe, right? He was the best looking player on that team, basically. Most stable. So I think he'll actually do fine, and he'll be a very good role player. Then they got Junjia and Honkyu. That's what I'm fucking excited for. Like, those guys in the LPL it just sounds like shithouse, doesn't it? Like, there's not really much else to say. Like, that's gonna be sick. Their AD carry is Gala. They fucking snapped up Gala.
Oh yeah, I remember
right?
now. I remember
They
them
snapped up
getting
Gala. Now, the only question mark on the roster is that they have Vampire support. Right? It's the only question mark. But, and I was saying this to chat the other day, if there is any head coach in the world that is going to be able to fundamentally fix a player like Vampire, it's fucking Tabe. Like, if there's any coach in the world that can like make this guy not be horrible, like it's Tabe. So high key, I don't even mind. What is Doran doing? Okay, Doran. Like, yeah, if there's any player that's any head coach that can fix a player like Vampire, it's Tabe. So I'm really, really excited for that lineup, because even though they have the Vampire debuff, they have Tabe buff, right? So I think that's really, really important. Oh, good night, Owner.
Yeah.
So that roster, I think it's gonna fry. Like, I don't know how people rate it per se, like on a 1-to-1, but at worst case, I think by the end of the year, it's genuinely just top 4 always. Like, absolute worst case, it is always top 4. Like, it's going to Worlds. I think they held on to their entire roster, and then Jackie Love is maybe taking like a split break. Yeah, and that's it. Yeah. So I don't know who their AD carry is, but
I feel like it's probably just going to be BLG, top esports, like for India, BLG top esports, AL, and then JDG the sleeper.
Yeah, I hope AL stay good. Like, I hope it wasn't like just this year and a bit of magic plus like Tabe kind of. I don't know. Like Tabe's track record over the last 3-4 years in terms of just the immediate he joins team, they get infinitely better. Is I don't think I've seen a coach have this much seemingly positive impact on their lineups in the same way that Tabe has. So I'm hoping that with AL, it's like it wasn't just like Tabe effect, right? And they can stay strong because individually they fucking got it. You know, like individually they are all good on the sticks. I'm not sure who's come in to lead the project now. Off the top of my head, maybe someone in chat knows.
Isn't Helper or
I'm
the Gen G coach?
I'm not sure. That's what I'm saying. Like, I actually have no idea who it is.
I actually think it is Helper. I remember seeing that.
Yeah, someone in chat is also saying Helper as well.
I mean, he's very expressive, so he has that, which Tabe did, right? You know, Tabe's reactions. Helper also has that, so that's some consistency. When we do the coach cam, you're gonna get a similar level of expressiveness from Helper as we did with Tabe.
I see. Okay. And then we'll see. But yeah, I think the LPL top half is going to be really fun. I think IG is back to being arse.
I mean, the thing is with the Tabe AL situation, right? It's like AL was a new, like it was a fresh roster, right? You know, and a lot of the systems that you imagine were put together for the team will remain in place.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see what happens, but like, if the team is staying the same, and you have these systems that are working before, I think it'd be hard for them to be like
very low. Yeah.
I think it'd be hard for them to be drastically worse unless, you know, they had a coach who's coming in and purposely being antagonistic and making a bad environment, which I really don't expect. I think it's different if, like, you know, you end up in a situation where it's like a team has changed and you kind of have to rebuild the systems, and it could be different from what you had before, or it could be a situation where, like, you know, if he's responsible for maintaining the environment and it breaks down, that could happen as well. You know, it's really hard with coaching because I think, like, from an outside perspective, it's pretty clear based on the success rate that, like, Tabe has been linked with success, but, like, why? I'm not saying he wasn't, but, like, what was he doing specifically? Like, why was AL successful as a result of him? You know, and unless you know that, it's hard to really decipher how they're going to be without him.
Yeah.
What have they lost? What have they lost? They've lost Tabe, we know that. But what does that mean? I think that's the thing. It's really difficult, I feel like, with coaching, is you sometimes get snippets, but I feel like most coaches in League of Legends, you don't really get a full picture of what they actually do. And everyone assumes, like, draft. Coaches do draft. But, like, there's a lot of teams where draft is actually player-driven, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, gosh. Like, this, sorry to cut you off, but this is something that has, like, always negs me a lot. Is just people do not know the, like, value of a coach. And the annoying thing is, it's just very contextual as well. Where it's, like, it's multi-layered, where I think people don't understand the value of what a coach brings to a team. They have, like, a very binary understanding of what, like, coaches do for a team. And then every coach is legit going to be different, right? Yeah. Like, every single coach is going to be different. Like, I had to explain this a lot when I was defending Yamato Cannon, right? When he's doing LR for Winter. And people were, like, calling him very fraudulent and this and that and the other. And I was like, guys, first off, he's got credentials. Like, don't just look at the KC, like, splits. Like, the KC thing is what it was. But if you watched LR, and because we have the, you know, the unusual privilege of watching, you know, their scrims and a lot of their discussions and how, you know, they break things down. Yamato is I would say one of his strongest suits is definitely as a vibes coach, right? Like, understanding, managing the environment, like you said. That seems to be, from what I understand about Yamato, one of his core strengths as a coach. If you watch their last like conversations, especially towards the end of the year, they need someone like that. They need a proper mediator. So if he's like the head coach, that's a good fucking pickup. That is something that makes sense. And if they've got, you know, other strategic positions filled out and this and that and other, and like, that is probably one of the best head coaches you can pick up on the market, in my opinion. And I don't actually think it's close. Also, this is so fucked with DK, bro. Lucid put out so much. Okay, she was able to come in and clean up. That was looking very shagged for a sec. But yeah, like, Yamato is the kind of person that will manage that environment and I think do it relatively well. Because it's not the kind of environment where, if you remember, obviously things got really fucked. Fnatic, was it 2020 or 21? I can't remember if it was what year it was that he was there with the upset scenario. With like Adam and all of that like really nasty stuff. As long as it's not that as long as it's not that level of like nastiness, he's gonna manage the situation fine. Like, he's the guy that you want as like to head a project like that, in my opinion. But if you're gonna say he's there to like shore up their gameplay to like, you know, the highest Western level that we've ever seen, that's probably not necessarily Yamato's like outright strength, you know. Like, and that doesn't mean that he can't like correct players' habits or understanding or anything like that. No, of course not. He's a coach. He's still going to be able to do that, but it's probably not like his number like top 3 strength, right? So yeah, people I think just have, again, this very like binary understanding of coaching. And
the thing is, like, I think the best example I feel like is to look at draft and to say the fact that, like, you know, there are some teams where like the coaches are super militant with draft and they're like, this is what we're playing, this is what we're drafting. I draft, you follow. There's some teams where like, you know, the coaches are generally in charge, but like the players have a lot of input. And I mean, even the ones who are quite militant, they'll still get feedback from the players on matchups and stuff like that. And then there's some where it's like, you know, the players are the ones really dictating it, and the coaches is kind of just like assisting them. But like, oh, so these are the kind of the things, you know, they'll discuss draft before the game, and they'll be like, these are the picks that we have, you know, what are we going to go for? And the player will be like, oh, we're going for this. I want to play this. We're playing this. And like, there may be a player on the team who's more responsible for like the draft outcome than the coaches. But like, from an outside perspective, people see bad draft, they think bad coach. Like, on every team, people see bad draft, they think bad coach. And like, there could be a situation where like you're looking at a team and like the support is more responsible for a bad pick or a bad draft than the coach was, but people will just always blame the coach.
It literally, it varies coach to coach, it varies player to player, like
varies team to team, you know.
Like, I'd even tell you from my like low bob experience, there were some players on my team, they would suggest a pick and I'll tell them to shut up and lock in XYZ, you know. Like, I don't want to hear them telling me that they feel like this pick is good here if it's kind of like subverting either the plan that we had set up, or it's just generally like, it's not good for our comp, it's not good for their comp. It's just like he sees a magical angle, and it's like, it's not like I don't trust the guy, it's just that, hey, in that specific situation with that particular player, it's like, I don't think I'm willing to throw that on the line. But if it was a different player, maybe I would, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah. Like, and like what we're both saying, it's
all my team experiences, which were a while ago, obviously, but like, I don't think things have changed that drastically.
No,
the draft strategy was crafted as a team, right? You go to practice, players talk about what they think is good. You do research. Maybe you've looked at like whatever the LCK is playing is a pretty common move that a lot of teams do. And you're like, hey, this is kind of like the meta at the moment. If it's a new patch, you're like, what do we think is good in the new patch? You discuss these things, you practice it in scrims, and you come up with like, this is generally the picks we're playing. And then when it comes to, you know, drafting on stage, a lot of this stuff is like you're trying to put together a composition, but like the player will express like their comfort with the scenario. So if it's like, hey, we think Rek'Sai is really good here, and you're like, well, I mean, I really don't want to play Rek'Sai in this game. You know, that's a common thing players will say, and the coach might go. In some teams, the coach might go, "Oh, well, it's really good here. We need to take it." And in some situations, the player, their preference will reign supreme. You know, it just depends on the dynamic. But I think so often you have people just assuming that like coach decides everything to do with draft, and the players are just at a whim to it. You know. And this, every team in the world, in every league, has their own dynamic, you know, and we get snippets. We get like a tiny taste of what's going on. Lost Returns is the exception because you get like a huge
You get so
look
much
into
information, yeah.
it. Even looking at that, like, you know, the players have a lot of say with things that go on there, right?
Yep.
Like
Yep.
you see the discussions that go on, they'll give feedback on this and that and this and blah 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 blah. And obviously when it comes to like the draft itself, someone does have to like make the call and say, okay, we're picking this if there's
Mhm.
like a disagreement, but who that is can vary massively, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, like that's. I mean, hell, that was. I don't know what it was like from your because I never played in a pro team like ERL or higher. But that was always like the fun part about being like staff side. Whether it was when I was assistant coach or like other, we're just seeing how those interactions happen and like how those relationships also kind of develop in terms of like certain players have to like earn their trust in terms of like, hey, I want to pick this here, you know, like please let me do it. Like, I'm sure you've probably had the odd player here and there, like teammate here and there, where it's like they play some absolute crackhead shit, and it's like your
Oh,
entire
don't
team,
even,
your entire team is
don't
like,
even bring up flashbacks, man.
like your entire team is like, no, bro, we're not gonna let you play it here. And then like maybe you play that stage game, you win it anyway. You didn't let them play it, but then you let them play it in a scrim, and it's really good, and it looks fucking awesome. So then the next time that they bring it up on a stage draft, it's like, okay, you know what? Let's give him a shot, and then he just runs it on stage.
Yeah, yeah. There's also this situations
Oh,
where, like, I mean,
I
as
mean, I know
myself.
they're 15k down, but like, Jesus Christ, bro.
Um, there's also the situation where what's it called? That ult just stun-locked me. Yeah, lost my train of thought.
No, it's all good. Like that was a crazy combo. But yeah, I don't know, we'll see. Cause in that same frame of conversation actually, Danny come over from IG to BLG. So there's a lot of like talk in terms of like his impact and what he's gonna do and what he's gonna provide to this BLG lineup. Because for sure, I
Yeah.
think if there's one thing that everyone kind of agreed on, it's that like whoever was coaching BLG this year, like they weren't getting the belt out enough. They weren't really like establishing any kind of anything, you know.
Yeah.
It was just like fucking go play, and if we win and we get the hands check down, we win and we get the hands check down, you know, like that's it. It just really felt like
Yeah.
they were playing on vibes perma. Like the one they'll always kind of scar me. And I mean, I didn't have a lot of faith in them moving into MSI personally, BLG. But do you remember their best of against T1?
Mm-hmm.
Hell, you might have even been there. Actually,
MSI? No.
yeah. Were you not on MSI this year? I swear you're on MSI.
No.
Oh. But you're on Worlds.
Yeah.
I could have sworn you were on MSI. Okay, well. But like, do you remember how like T1 just fucking ran them?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if we're being honest, don't get me wrong, BLG played, T1 played like acceptably fine, right? But at what, like, how did no one belt anyone on BLG at any point? Like, they just did the exact same thing for 3 games in a row. They just completely fist fought to the death over everything. Like, it was just pure red. Like, all they wanted to do was just do their thing and like fist fight, and it was so strange and just unnecessary. And it feels like there was no leader inside of the like BLG coaching room to be like, hey, like, let's stop. Like, can we slow down? It would be good. So yeah, we'll see what Danny does, because he seems to be very gameplay centric, from what I understand, and that definitely sounds a lot like what BLG need, like a bunch of fucking discipline and belting. how do coaches teach player synergy though? Like BLG just didn't mesh. What could a coach have done? I mean, it's hard to say. Personally, from the 2 experiences that I've had, like leading that kind of thing in a coaching structure, my first point of call is getting communication on lock and making sure that players are understanding the needs of like their teammates, like as best as possible. Oh god, they're just level 3ing them. This is just not a good gank, no?
Hey, we can't see you. We can just see your client.
Wait, really?
Well, I can't.
Sorry, because it did the thing. It's because I came out of the replay and then went back in.
Well, I hate you, man. You just fucking denying me access.
My fault. My fault. So yeah, like when I were the 2 teams that I had coached, that's what I would do. Like before I do anything else, before I'm like fixing gameplay, before I'm fixing draft, it's like, okay, here's a communication structure I want you guys to follow. Okay, now Lucid is level 3 ganking on the return. Yeah, like here's this communication structure I want you guys to follow. Wow.
That's crazy. That got a kill actually. That was
Yeah,
huge.
that's really nice. A bit annoying that it goes onto career, but like Nami is one of the few champs when it's with Lucian you kind of don't mind gold going into.
I don't know anymore. I used
like,
to be that way.
It's like acceptable, but it's not like preferable. Like,
honestly, I think back in the old day, I actually think it was honestly sometimes even better, right? I actually think like the Nami spike was huge. I think Mandate is not what it used to be, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know if I feel the same way. That being said, I also think like gold early on supports is low-key underrated.
I agree.
Everyone's like automatically assuming like it's better on the carry, but it's like the carry's gonna get gold, right? Like that little boost, that injection for a role that's generally quite starved can make a big difference. I'm not saying like give you support kills or something, but there's definitely games where like a support gets a kill or 2 and then just gets like turbo advantages from it. I don't know, man. I don't like Lucian Nami that much at the moment, though. I just don't think it does what it used to. Like, it used to be like you had such a strong spike, and you could just perma contest mid prio, and you were so untouchable. Like now, like the spike just isn't there, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just not the same, and the lane isn't that strong. Like Lucian Nami has never been that strong of a lane. Like it's a misconception that everyone used to have, because like they'd go in and do a fat trade and be like, "Oh, dude, we're so sick," or they'd be playing into like Zeri Yumi, and they'd have pressure, and it's like, okay, well, you're Zeri Yumi, bro. You'd hope you'd have pressure. Like the name was never like that strong, because although they had good poke, their all in was like awful. You just ran out of cooldowns, and you have to play it really well to like maintain pressure. So it was so much about the 1 item spike, right? The 1.5, it was like 1.5 to 2 items on Lucian, and then it was 1 item on Nami. And that was when they just took over the game. But that's not a thing anymore, right? Like you don't have Gale Force, Mandate's just not as good.
Gosh,
like Nami
Gale
just
Force,
doesn't do as much damage. Wait, why the fuck does Korea have Aftershock? What the fuck am I looking at?
Oh, he was on Nautilus last game, so I think probably runes didn't
Can you check his
change.
other runes? Can you check his other runes?
Yeah, sure. He's got Shield Bash, Bone Plating, and Unflinching.
Okay, yeah, he just didn't change them. Thank God. Thank God. Thank God.
Yeah, I'm
honestly.
gonna assume that he didn't load into this game wanting. Hey, you got the aftershock proc. Hey. Ah, he didn't walk in for the damage.
The thing is, I think there's actually
Oh
some
my God,
enchanted
Smash.
support.
You psycho. Oh my days.
Oh, that's well played.
Oh, if the bubble hits, they just kill Pays. He might just triple them now. They gotta wait.
I think Nami can just kill him. No.
No, I
Just
don't think so.
W. Yeah. Oh no, never mind. Wait,
Bro, okay, I need to check something, high key. I mean, no, his W is still on cooldown even now. Okay, yeah.
It's so funny, actually. Okay, game is over.
My God.
Game is over. Game is over, by the way.
Yo, why is the directed cam not moving? Like it legit. Yo, it's on direct.
This is what I mean.
Hey.
Yeah, it knows the game is over, so it's just giving up.
It knows the game is done. It just.
This is what I mean about Lucian Nami, though. You know, after you've used your CDs, you kind of just it's so awkward, right? Especially against these like picks like Yunara or Zeri.
Anything with DPS, yeah.
Yeah, So like, even if you get someone really, you're like, oh dude, look at this sick trade, it's winning, go in, and then you just like right clicking as Lucian, and Nami's just watching. And also like hitting the bubble as Nami is like really hard into like mobile AD carries. You know what's actually tragic? You know, another tragic thing right now, Jamon, I'm gonna tell you this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you an absolute fact. If Korea had the right runes,
They probably would have killed
Phase
him.
dies.
Yes. Yeah.
no, not even probably definitely. You think how close it was, and you think the fact that brother has like shield bash doing nothing.
Yeah, if he had
actually
like
made the difference.
Scorch, Airy proc, like that guy's dead.
Yeah, I think in some situations, runes just don't like, you know, you have the wrong runes, like, well, it didn't make that much of a difference. But that was actually, we saw live in front of us. That one
Yeah.
literally was the difference maker. Unlucky. I think the game's just cooked, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy. Like, they don't really have a clear win condition outside of Lucian, and Lucian is not accelerated right now.
I also think that, like, the fact that you have Syndra Pantheon into Lucian, so rough, dude. It's so rough.
Yeah, actually,
And Doran is, like, winning side laning and Sion as Gwen. It's fucking over, dude. It's over.
just read out of chat. Carrier versus Career is a caster's nightmare, surely. Thoughts?
Honestly, you have to deal with the LPL.
Nothing can phase you anymore. How about
Wave
Xiao
is
Shu
wave.
versus Xiao Hu versus fuck, there's at least like 3 more Xiaos in the league.
Dude, we had Wei and Wei in the same.
Xiao Hu, yes. Yeah, Wei versus Wei. Yep.
Yeah. Just like the amount of stuff. The LPL was, I think the LPL was just like in terms of like name disasters in terms of like has a caster. I think the LPL was just the hardest. There were so many like difficult ones. Plus you have to add in like the Chinese pronunciation, which is another layer to it.
Yeah. Like even
So,
actually oh yeah, go.
Because I think like all the like 97% of the LCK names are pretty chill. Are just like very standard, like Doran, you know, Lucid, Smash, Korea, Faker. Very easy.
Yeah.
Very easy. And even the more difficult ones aren't that difficult.
Nah. Whereas like you might
LPL, though.
read Siwu as Siwu, but like it's a little bit of a H on it or whatever. Like that's about it, you know. Like the extent of Korean names are generally not that difficult.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels like there's, I guess, from StarCraft days, this tendency just to pick very.
Yeah, Koreans are very good at picking random English names.
Yeah. Which makes sense because it makes it a lot. I mean, here's a question I've always wondered, right? Faker's obviously massive, don't get me wrong, right?
Yeah.
I don't think anything would really change that.
Okay,
But
I
would
think I know what the
Faker-
question is. Yeah.
Would Faker be as big if he wasn't called Faker?
No, that name
And
has
I
too
don't
much
mean
aura.
like, I don't mean if he wasn't called Faker, like, you know.
Ross. Oh, goodbye. Yeah. I know
Like,
what you mean.
I think if Faker had a name like Smash, I think he'd still be fine. But like,
I mean, let's just call it how it is. If his name was Chovy from day one,
I don't even think Chovy's that bad. But
no,
like,
Chovy's not that bad. What's like the worst? Like, what's some of the worst player names that have like ever existed? Like, there's got to be some doo-doo one. Doo-doo. Yeah, Bulls. Yeah. Bulls was
I
terrible.
think honestly, but even then,
A player named Wet? There was not a player named Wet. I've got to go look that up. Nah, surely not. Yeah, God, even then.
I think like okay, Bulls would be fucking funny if Faker was Bulls. But even then, like, I think these names are pretty serviceable. with the career he's had, I think it'd still be fine. But I'm thinking like, again, like with the career he had, I don't think any name would be like
No.
would really take that much of a hit. But would there be a name that would have just like dented the aura massively? And it's like the fact is, Faker is Faker, right? And it's
agree.
so easy to say, it's so good to say, right? But like, what? Can you imagine if you picked a bad name and then being the GOAT?
Okay, what if his name was PP God?
You know what?
What are we thinking? What are we thinking?
What
are we
if his-
thinking?
what if his
What
name
was
was
PP God?
PP God? You know what? There you go, right there. That's what I'm talking about. I don't think it'd be the same. I think that'd be
Like, bro,
different.
could you imagine World's Finals? Shox is on stage. PP God.
The thing is as well, right? Because
I can't
Faker
fucking
goes
focus.
beyond League of Legends, bro.
Yes,
Faker goes beyond League of
legit.
Legends. You know, bro, I've lived in Korea. Every time, like, I speak to any Korean person on League of Legends, no matter who it is, right? Anyone
yeah.
who's like, oh, what do you do for your job, and tell them. They all
Yeah.
know who Faker is, obviously, right? They all know who
Yeah.
Faker is. And these
Yeah,
could be
yeah,
people who
he's-
just don't know
he's a
anything about League of
celebrity.
Legends.
Yeah, he's a celebrity.
Yeah.
Like,
100%. Can you imagine, bro? Oh, of course I know PP God.
bro. Yeah, no, I think
you know,
I think people forget that about Faker. Like he's got motion out in Korea. It's like I'll say like Son is like the MJ of Korea, and then like high key Faker is the Prince. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh my days, that was a sick flash from Shiu. Are they just well played?
well, that was actually
That was really good.
redemption, not enough. Yeah. I mean,
But
Faker,
yeah.
shoot, dude. Whenever I go to the supermarket to go get food, there's
Faker
noodles with
noodles.
Faker's face on them.
Yeah. Yes, bro.
You know. Actually, here's one. Right, here's
Hmm.
one. I'll send you this. Actually, I forgot
Okay.
about this. I took a picture, but I didn't. And I never posted it anywhere because I was too lazy. This was after Worlds. I
Mhm.
got into my taxi. Right. I got in my taxi to get home from. I can't remember where I was coming home from. But I got my taxi and I saw this. Let me find it. Nearly there. Where the fuck is it? Because after I got back from Worlds, obviously, so I'm looking through my photo gallery and like, how can I not find it? Am I stupid? I'll say yes.
Someone in my YT chat wants to know if those noodles are actually good.
You know, I honestly haven't tried them.
Has P tried them? I feel like P would be a noodle head.
Nah, bro, she can't handle spicy food at all, so no.
Really? I get that sounds very French, to be fair. I
Dude,
feel like
it's not
there's
even
like
that,
no spicy French food, is there?
That
Like,
we think, well, there isn't, but we think it's legit an allergy because like I'll
Oh.
eat something, I'll eat something and it'll legit be like, I'm like, I don't taste any spice. It's like, you ever heard the Princess and the Pea?
Yeah.
Right? It'd be legit like the fucking. Yeah, you could have a broth, like one single flake of chili in there, and she'll be like, I taste it, you know? It's like a superpower, but
Yeah.
it's really sucks for her because it just makes a lot of food uneatable.
Yeah, I could imagine.
I sent you the picture, by the way. Yeah. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
got into this taxi.
Oh, wow, that's so
And
cool.
They had like
Okay,
a little advert playing, just showing that.
Yeah, I'm gonna show that on stream because it's not anything
Yeah,
crazy,
go
but
ahead.
like this is this what he
Ah,
had
you-
on the back of his screen, guys. Very cool. Just chilling on the back there.
Yeah. They play like a little ad with like all the players and saying like T1 World Champions. That's
Yeah.
fucking crazy. Also, you on the taxi app in Korea, they do advertisements where like whoever like they'll do advertisements for stuff and like the icon on the map, but like me and the taxi driver will be like certain things.
Oh.
There was one where like I think the taxi driver was the World's Trophy, and I was like he won a Faker or something. It's really funny.
That's really cool. Yeah, no, it's a different world out there with esports, man. Like, it's basically I mean, hell, it might as well be the football, to be honest. Like if you're just comparing like Europe to Korea. Like if you had to throw down like a money line on like kids growing up, whether they want to be a professional football player or a professional like League of Legends player in South Korea, like it's probably pretty close. You know, like if not just outright League of Legends. Okay, and it's doing nothing.
I'm not gonna lie. Like you look at the items now.
Yeah.
Essence Fever, Rapid Fire Cannon.
Yep.
That does not inspire joy, bro.
No. To be fair, I think
Also the Slay from Nami. And
yeah.
I mean, no Electrocute obviously would have Airy normally if it didn't have Aftershock. Oh no, what are you doing, brother?
Yeah, that was a bit strange from Mona. Oh, you know what, actually?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Go talk about the items. I'm gonna ask you another question from the other day.
Doesn't do the same damage. Just doesn't hit the same. Doesn't have the same threat. But if Ona's gonna do that, then I think you chill.
Yeah. Okay. Chat and I were having a discussion the other day about the 3 best junglers in the world, right? Who, in my opinion, right now, would be Ona, Kanavi, Tarzan, right? Do you have an objection to that 3? Not in that order. Those are the top 3. Not in that order though.
Are you saying like the problem with like things like this is it's like what time frame are we going from? Are we talking like
just
end of
like
worlds?
Just like general,
we talking like
how
we feel about them in a whole?
Yeah, just like kind of a little bit of a mix of both, right? There's no like hard line thing here. It's like within like recency bias like implied is important.
Things
but, like,
change, right? Things change constantly, you know.
Yeah, of course.
I think Tarzan and Ona are no-brainers. My only thing with Kanavi is like, his worlds was pretty rough, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I just think that team is cursed to be horrible at worlds, perma. But I do agree. Like his worlds individually was still like not the best. But I still rate him as one of the best personally. Which
is fair, but like if I was coming off worlds, which obviously has been a while now, but if I was coming off worlds and I was saying like who are the top 3 junglers right now, worlds are just finished, who the top 3 junglers, I would say Tarzan, Ona, Cuz.
Fair. Very fair.
And again, like these things can change, right? These things are not a constant. And it's not to say that Kanavi can't be in the top 3, but just based on like at that point, I would say those 3. Because I think as well, I obviously think BDD is a great player, right? Don't get me wrong. Like I'm prefacing this. I think BDD is an insane player. And got a lot of recognition in my votes for various awards and stuff. But I do feel like there's been a bit of a narrative where like everyone's been saying like, oh, it's BDD in 4 wards.
Oh, that narrative carried on for too long. Like do you mind if I jump in?
Was just insane. Yeah, go ahead.
Like because for me, the way that the narrative actually was at the start of the year was BDD in 4 wards, and then it eventually turned into BDD and 3.5 wards, and then Cuz finally reared his head, and it was BDD, Cuz, and 3 wards, and then it like realistically towards Worlds, right? It became like, hey, this is a fully functioning team that is actually randomly very good right now. Well, I say randomly, like I think there was some writing on the wall throughout a lot of summer and like playoffs especially, but yeah.
I think some of the better performances, Dockdown was like a huge factor.
I agree.
Like remember this team took down T1, and there was a period during round 4, I think, where I actually thought T1 were the best team in the world. Like they beat Genji, their form was insane. Carrier was just pure.
This is summer regular, right?
Yeah, and then things did develop a bit, but KT was one of the teams who beat them, you know, and got this big upset. So, and then obviously during the series against Genji, the mid jungle gap, but most of the jungle gap, right? It was completely blasted. Canyon.
Oh, bro, yeah,
that was having a great performance. Like I think to me, it's very clear that if you rank the players on KT, it was BDD, Cuz, Lockdown, Peter, perfect, right? And I think that like Cuz, the thing is as well, Cuz, you know, I've watched the voice cons. They post voice cons of like their big matches, all of them. Cuz is the shot caller for this team.
Oh, interesting.
Cuz is the voice for this team, and like
Okay.
Perfect doesn't speak that much. BDD does talk quite a bit in fights, right?
Mm.
He's good at like conveying a lot during fights. I mean, obviously everyone speaks somewhat in
Everyone will
fights,
speak
but,
German, but like oftentimes you'll listen to a voice call over
yeah,
a team fight. And
because
it's like you can tell who like the IGL is for that little sequence. Yeah, like
yeah,
it's
it tends to be Cuz and BDD, or BDD will say, "I'm doing this. This is what we're doing," and blah blah blah, and Cuz will
yeah,
say that. But like out of fights, dude, Cuz is like, you know,
yeah. He's
he's
calling
the
for
voice.
stuff. He's calling for stuff. He's like, hey, like, can you do this on this wave and then move over here and do this and that and da. Like, yeah, like
And there's
that
setups for
sounds like
objectives
us.
and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
like, you know, as much as obviously KT would have been nothing without BDD, they would have not been able to do nearly as much as they've done without Cuz. Like Cuz was a massive factor, which is why I was thinking for HLE, if I was them, I'd have been gunning for Cuz
Hmm.
as one of my options, because
Yeah.
I think like he covers the shot hole in the hole that you lose from Peanut, and also just generally a great player. But to
Yeah.
me, if I was HLE, the 3 players I'd have been looking at was Cuz, Tarzan, Navi.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
But obviously, Cuz and Tarzan did not happen. Yeah, I think Navi's like great. He's had some great performances. He's been in some great form.
Yeah, I mean, I think for a lot of the year, and to be fair, outside of Tarzan, I don't think that the competition was particularly hot for this title. But you know, I think throughout many periods of the year, he was the best jungler alongside Tarzan. Like they were just battling for it, right? Like, it was just sometimes it was Kanavi 1 and Tarzan 2, and then more often than not, it was Tarzan 1, Kanavi 2, right? Like, but that
Yeah.
was what it was for the entire year. So it's definitely not a. I don't know. I kind of. I don't know how you felt about Peanut over the course of the year, but I just felt like to me, especially like in the Fearless setting, it just wasn't like.
I mean, I think Peanut wasn't helped by Fearless.
Yeah, yeah. I think there was a lot
But
going
I also
on.
think the bigger issue, I think a good example, right, is remember when T1, when Faker got subbed out and they had Kobe,
Yes.
and during that time, the player who looked second worst on the team, after unfortunately Kobe, was Ona,
Ona. Yeah.
right?
Yeah, he looked lost. Bro. It was crazy.
Yeah, I think if your mid is doing badly, I think it's hard to look at as a jungler, because it's center of the map.
Yep.
I think Zeka is the bigger issue.
Yeah,
on this
yeah.
roster.
No, I agree. I was actually really surprised. Like, I was joking about it before Worlds, and very specifically before BDD signed his contract extension. I was like, I'm not gonna lie. If I'm HLE, I'm moneyballing for BDD for 2026. Like, I think what was hilarious was that Zeka's contract did run out at the end of the year, and it was renewed.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
If you take HLE, you pick up Guma, you slam Cuz BDD.
Yeah. Yeah, that works too. Like,
that's a fucking team.
Oh yeah.
Because I think that's the one thing, is that I think breaking Cuz and BDD apart is kind of difficult.
Oh, okay,
but I think BDD signed for a while.
Yeah. He signed till
think...
he signed till 27, bro. Like he did a
and
technically a 3-year contract. Like
HLE has money, but I don't know if they have that
much money. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I thought there was even some like middle of the road, like air quotes middle of the road mids that they maybe could have like potentially taken and turned into a little bit of summon.
I think it's difficult.
I think the list
like
is very short.
It's
though.
hard to it's hard to justify it, and also like the thing with mid in the, even though Zek has been a problem, and I think Fairness has nerfed him massively, I think it's really difficult to find a mid who can like hold up to the big dogs. You know.
Yes.
I think there's so many teams in the LCK where like it's like when you try to go on a roller coaster at a theme park. It's like you have to be this tall to ride. your mid has to be this good, and if your mid isn't that good, it's just so hard to beat the top teams. A lot of the top teams are very mid-centric. I'm gonna look at some of the chat comments because people were saying stuff. I don't think you take Cuz over Kanavi. I mean, that's a matter of opinion, right? I mean, I think Cuz had a great year. He's had great years before. I think the general stock on Cuz is quite low, which surprises me, because like he was on, for some reason, after his KT run originally, when he was like when they got like first in the league in regular season in summer, teams just weren't interested in him. and then obviously now he's come back to KT. But I think he's pretty heavily underrated regularly. And there's definitely times where Cuz isn't in the best of form, but I think he's also had a lot of unfortunate team situations. But I do think Kanavi's good, obviously. HLE Kanavi was almost 99%. I don't know, man. Based on what I was hearing in the offseason, it wasn't set in stone completely. I think they were interested in the options. I don't think it was a surprise it ended up this way, but you know. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I think my opinion of Canyon, I just don't think personally he's the best fit for Genji in terms of like how he pairs up with Chovy. Because to me, I think if you think of like when Canyon's at his worst and when Chovy is at his worst, I think both players just kind of default to like inactivity and resource collecting. And I feel like you'd want a more proactive jungler with Chovy. Because obviously Chovy is very good. But there's been games, because obviously Genji have won a ton. And the thing is, it's hard to be like, oh, we won so much. And then we just like choked at the end. It's hard to say like we should make changes. But I think like you've had games where it's literally like mid and jungle just do nothing. And then the rest of the team have to pick up the pieces. And like Duro was being like the second jungler. And like setting up for Ruler and like ganking for Keen in the top lane. And the thing is, if we headed into like the thing is, I think even for Canyon himself, I think Canyon would function better on a team where like he can be played around more. I feel like what's sad is like some of the games where Canyon has looked best have been when he's just been on like tank duty, and he just all his job is just to gank and shit. Like, you know, there's a lot of games where they defaulted to putting him on Skarner and he just runs around and ganks. And when the meta moved away from that, it felt like he was struggling. Like, that's not what you really think of like Canyon's best as, right? I feel like him being the subservient jungler to the rest of his team is not the best fit for him. It's like he's role playing because it's what's best for the team, but it's like that's not where you're getting the most out of Canyon.
Yeah, I feel one thing.
That is someone just said, imagine Owner, Chovy, Canyon, Faker. Yeah, I mean, I think Owner and Faker are great together, obviously, but I think like those two pairings, from Chovy and Canyon's perspective, make more sense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the thing is, right, when I say all this stuff, I'm nitpicking the team who got first at MSI, got first in LCK, right? Canyon is obviously still a very good player, right? And Genji still were very successful, but he was the weakest player on that team, right? And this is obviously a team designed to win everything. So, you know, that is where I'm coming from, that perspective of if you want to be, like, if I'm diagnosing problems with an extremely good team, there's always going to be that element of, well, you know, he's still really good. But I just think, like, stylistically, I think there could be a scenario that favors them better.
Yeah, I was saying with Canyon, because at least for me, the way that I hail Canyon is that I think that he is probably the highest ceiling jungler that's ever played the game, in my opinion. I don't think there's ever been anyone that's been as good as peak Canyon was in like 2020 and like 19 and 21. Like, on an individual level, I don't think it's close. Like there's people you can make arguments for second, but I don't think you could ever put anyone in first except Canyon. And I think a large part of that comes down to the way that, at least back then, those teams, or those versions of Damwon specifically, they understood the jungle, I just think, significantly better than any other team in the world, ever. And I still feel like that's kind of a thing now, where I think if you give Canyon a team and like we end up in a jungle meta again, where it's like jungle and like farming is actually important, like he just instantly becomes #1 again. In my opinion.
I also
Whereas,
think
like, if efficiency comes back, then I think he just does the thing. But I don't think the game will ever be designed for it anymore.
I also just think that like he would benefit so much more from being in a team where he can be the main character, and he's never going to be the main character on Genji. He's never even going to be the second character, right?
Nah, not possible. But yeah, no, because I brought this got brought up the other day. Also, by the way, it's crazy that DK are winning this. They're about to go 2-up versus T1. Saying this the other day because someone brought up Bo, obviously, because he's got a very mechanical jungle reputation. And I was saying that, like, especially inside of Europe, you're just never going to see that guy on a team. Like, it's not going to happen because the way that European players and laners view... Oh my god, they did the thing with the Shockwave and Flash. Yeah, the way that people... the way that European laners view junglers is that they are basically just slaves to the lane, like, to the lanes and, like, setup, and they're just basically there to secure objectives, and that's it. Like, there is no version of League of Legends for a lot of European laners where the way that you play the game is actually through jungle and through a jungle lead.
Yeah.
Like, there's no team in Europe that does that. And it's not even because it's, like, inherently bad. It's not even that bad. Like, it's just a little bit more high volatile compared to other playstyles. But if you have a player like Bo, that's kind of what you have to do and should do, and you just won't get that out of Europe. And I feel like for Canyon, he's in... I don't want to say like a similar archetype, because I think Canyon is significantly A, better than Bo, but B also infinitely more versatile. But I think until Canyon ends up on a team like you're saying, where it's like, yeah, everyone can actually kind of just play around like Canyon, like I feel like he's never going to be able to spread his wings unless he gets to be the main character, for real.
I think sometimes there's certain players where you think they're best when they're the best player on the team, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Canyon is one of those where again, he's been doing great in Gen G, don't get me wrong, but I feel like my ideal version is where Canyon is the best player on the team, and really a lot of the wins come through him being able to dominate through the jungle. I think there was obviously players where like it's not even about like that sounds so weird, but it's like, being that like primary carry, that star player. I think Canyon would do well as being a star player,
Yeah.
which is why like we'll talk about Genji being a super team, and it does feel like they have 3 star players, right?
Yeah.
But one of them has had to take the L and not be a star player, right? And I think that Keen is phenomenal in the sense that he doesn't need to be a star player, but he can be a carry. He can do anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I have a massive hate boner for how teams view jungle.
Yeah.
And how they like don't actually ever see it as an avenue to like win the game if the matchup is particularly like, you know what I mean? Like, so, hell, off the top of my head, the only team that I can remember actively doing it is AL, and that was when they like introduced the Zed like more commonly into their like champ pool, like with dealing with like Trundle and some of the other, excuse me, yeah, like some of the more like slow clearing junglers. Like AL were the only one doing it. But yeah, it's just like, it's very, very shit. And we're doomed to have slave junglers perma. I mean, hell, even if you look at the way that the role quests have been balanced next year, how do you feel about those? Personally, just for a sec.
I mean, it sucks for junglers.
Because to me, the fact that, don't get me wrong, and anyone who disagrees, I think is just goofing, right? But it's like, jungle is definitely the strongest role in the game, right?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone should be arguing that. But I think the problem is that people don't understand how to interact with the jungle to such an egregious extent that is inflating the perception of the strength of jungle beyond its actual strength. And because it's already the strongest role in the game, it's like, it's almost, I don't want to say Ouroboros isn't quite exactly the correct like term to use here, but it's like it's almost just like a permanent state of confirmation bias, where it's like, yes, jungle is almost always going to be the strongest role in the game because, well, like it can walk to all 3 lanes at any point it effectively wants to. It always is going to be the main character because of the way that the game has now been designed and is like airtight around objectives, right? So like they have to be in a good spot. But you will sit and hear that and be like, well, then surely that means that everyone will play around the jungle, right? Because if the jungler is the main character, if the jungler is stronger, then you get to just like get all of the objectives and win the game. And it's like, even though that in my head is a pretty, 1 + 1 = 2 scenario, you will never see laners ever give up stuff for jungle, like proactively, on a consistent basis. It just doesn't happen. When realistically, the easiest way to win the game is just like, make sure you have both your summoner spells when an objective is spawning, and make sure you have prio, and that's it. Make sure you're alive. And if you set up your lanes to be in place for an objective, and your jungler is strong, then you will just like win.
Yeah.
But people will just sit there and tell you that, oh well, the jungler walked into my lane at 325 and killed me, so the enemy jungler is better than my jungler, and like that's just the entire interaction you'll get out of people like that, and just the broader like space as a whole.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, like junglers also don't help themselves because a lot of junglers just don't understand like lane states and how lanes like work, etc. Early on, I'm talking about, not like later on specifically. But it's just so like, yeah, I don't know. It just feels like a everlasting cycle of like, again, just like confirmation bias, where we will probably now for the rest of time never get anything new or cool or different for the jungle because people will just refuse to play around it appropriately. Like,
yeah.
Whereas, like, to me, do you know what I think they really need to do for jungle right now? I think I've said this to you before. The junglers need to have to build a dedicated jungle item again, in my opinion. I think that kept the role in check so much, in my opinion. Especially as we've moved towards a game design philosophy where, like, item completion and first items especially are super important. If you, I don't want to say force, but if a jungler has to buy, Warrior or what was the AP one called? Runic Echoes or Cinderhulk. That to a degree keeps their power on a different curve compared to like, hey, they get to just go Eclipse first, or they get to go Sundered Sky first, or they get to do this, or they get to do that, right? And even if it's technically more boring for the jungle, like I think it's more balanced and healthy for the game overall. And then there's separation. Like there's actually a little bit of separation between jungle and lane in power in that sense, but they just don't want to do it. You think new quest for top mid, by the way? Oh, what do you think? Although I think it will change things. I think
one thing is,
yeah,
I think it's good levers to be able to balance around, for role satisfaction. I have those. You can definitely tweak them a lot to be like, okay, this role's like obnoxious.
Yeah,
so we can tweak things, we can adjust things.
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
Yeah, I mean,
it does mean that we are going to be even more. Once upon a time, League of Legends wasn't defined roles, right?
No.
And I feel like is really going hard on these are defined roles.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, like, AD carries are inherently gold efficient, right? We play AD carries in the marksman role. Sorry, we play marksman in like the bot lane role because we can funnel resources onto them, we can protect them, right? And in late game they can carry.
Ooh.
But now you're giving the role more gold. So it's like a role that was already favorable towards marksman.
Yeah.
Is now being more favorable.
That I actually do not understand because for me, right, the way that and you probably have a very similar opinion to me, is that ADC is not weak. Like, in the slightest. Like, the only thing about ADC is that in solo queue it is miserable to play. Right?
With AD carry is that, it's a role that is extremely powerful when played around, and then solo queue people don't play around it.
No. I think there's that.
So
And then I think the other thing is that what is the one thing that ADC just inherently lacks? Like, and it's by design. It's just agency.
health.
Well,
Ugh.
you'd like think so sometimes. Yeah, it's just agency, right? Like, agency is the one thing that role inherently doesn't have, like, independently, and it's very, very dependent on obviously how your team plays around you, but then also what champion you're playing, right? Because it's like Caitlyn, for example, because she's in the game. Caitlyn has a lot of agency individually. Like, she's got a huge amount of range. She's got very high base damage on her Q. She can pretty much by herself, under a lot of like 2v2 matchup circumstances, dictate lane prio. Like, even if you have like a melee champ into a range champ, like, sometimes you can just get prio because your AD is Caitlyn and the other AD is like something weak, right? And I think what I see from AD carries, or a lack thereof, compared to any other role, is a desire or the ability to just adapt when, like, the meta changes or when things in the game change. Because I think the power fantasy of the role is so intrinsically tied to wanting to right-click heads with items and just see the health bar go down that they refuse to do anything else. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
AD carries have been complaining for ages that mages are, like, strong in bot. Okay, go play mages then. Like, that's how I see it. As a jungler who's had their meta and their role, like, shifted 1,000,001 times, it's like, my preferred style of play is changed pretty much for a long time. It was like yearly, you know, like, junglers are like complain about it forever. And then it's the same thing for mid and the same thing for top, right? Stuff has changed very, very frequently. But AD carries really, really just refuse to even, like, shift over from, like, hyper carries to just, bro, lock in Ashe, lock in Varus, lock in, like, lethality MF, all of these kind of champs, and just put the fucking prio in the bag. Do you know what I mean? Like, they won't even do that. Like, they're just so averse to changing playstyle.
The thing is, they want the power fantasy of being that, like,
Yeah.
game hyper carry, but they also want the agency of, like, the picks that aren't that. It's like, you got to pick. If you want to play a pick who can scale into an absolute demonic monster, late game machine like Jinx, you have to accept that, like, there needs to be weaknesses, right? You can't be Jinx, like, dictating lane, having tons of agency, be relevant in early fights, and then also be an absolute late game monster. It's like, you gotta.
No, exactly. But it feels like to me that is what a lot of AD players expect out of their role. Like, the expectation against the power fantasy and the actual reality is just completely, like, it's just loopy, bro.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, them, like, the new season, them getting a crazy amount of gold. Like, they get, I think for completing the quest, they get like a 500 gold in Influxion, or it's like 400 gold, and then they get more gold for killing everything. Now, I don't know what the numbers are because I haven't watched enough in-houses from AD carry perspective to see, and I haven't checked, like, the PPE stuff or anything like that. But in no world does ADC just need to have passively more, like, income. Like, their champion, more than anything, actually increases in, like, flat line power pretty much than any other class, with the exception of, like, champions that are, like, Triforce champs and, like, maybe some Bork champions, you know? Oh my god.
It also is
Carrier
crazy
kind
to
of
me.
here.
It's crazy to me that oh,
Wow. No, he's fine. Oh my days. Carrier, you are on some bullshit this game. I respect it. He's hunting, bro. Perma. That was a good fight from T1.
it's just crazy to me that we're gonna end up in this situation where, like, a role that already scales so well with gold is now just being given more gold.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Like, yep, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's just, it's so backwards to me. Yeah, I also I don't know. I have a lot of feelings on the balanced philosophy of the game overall. I speak about it a lot, but it also doesn't really feel like seeing the way that they gauged the differences in strength based off of the quests and the rewards that they're giving for next season. It that in terms of like from the balance team and design team feels like the most out of touch I've seen them be about like roll to roll strength, in my opinion. Like ADC is not the weakest role in the game. It's the most frustrating role to play for sure. Like it's just miserable. I can 100% buy into that, and I always will. But there's no way it needs those kind of changes. Like for me, oh, good night, Lucid. Oh no. Yeah, like I think what makes ADC kind of boring is that like items don't change their champion in the way in like play patterns in the way that like items in other slots do. Do you know what I mean? Like you think about how Divine Sunderer changes how you can Sundered Sky changes the way that you can approach a team fight, right? As a bruiser. Or Triforce on certain champs, or Bork like just turns into a 1v1 machine. Do you know what I mean? Like no item in the AD class really does that, in my opinion, like to the point where it's actually straight up changing a gameplay pattern. And I think that to me is like a big deal for the AD carry class, because when their items change, they're still playing the exact same champ. You know what I mean? Like they're playing the exact same champ, but their right click's still more damage, basically. And it's only when you get to see like some of the AD carries that have like mixed itemization, where it's for example, Kai'Sa gets to build Zhonya's, right? When Kai'Sa like gets to build Zhonya's, she's playing a different game now. Like she fundamentally gets to play a different play pattern because she has the opportunity to play Zhonya's. Back in the day when you could get GA as an AD carry, right? Same kind of thing. Like depending on what, it's a little bit more contextual, but if you had Guardian Angel, you could do things a lot differently compared to if you didn't have a Guardian Angel, right? That life is a lot less important. But if you think about all of the meta AD items right now, and I think it's why Gale Force was so popular in my opinion, right? Besides it just being objectively by design broken, it's like if you bought Gale Force on Lucian, or you built it on Caitlyn, or you built it on hell, even like to a point Jinx, your champion got to turn into a pseudo assassin. Do you know what I mean? Like there were windows where all of a sudden, instead of your champion dealing, on average 1,100 in a full combo with a couple of autos weaved in, it deals 1,500 almost with the Gale Force proc on top of that. So like that changes your gameplay pattern entirely. So I think that's really what they needed to do, and I don't even really feel like the items have done that. The items that they brought in are going to do that, or have done that. Oh, no way. Just get the passive and leave.
Wow. She was on some stuff.
Oh, man. And he's TPing out. I can't focus.
That was a crazy stun. Oh no?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. That looked mad funny.
I feel like he was trying to get into the pool and then couldn't, and then just went down me.
But yeah, I feel like with that, like that's what I think the design team and the balance team really kind of don't understand about the ADC role. And I think that'll just do so much to band-aid the baby, like the tantruming, from ADC perspective. It's like if you just give them items that are actually fun to use / change how those champs work, like they wouldn't care that much.
I just can't believe that they're giving them 200% crit back.
Oh yeah, like bro, the amount they get extra gold once the quest is completed. They get a 200% crit damage back. Since obviously they changed the crit items, you can get four items 100% crit. Like Their role is... And Giant Slayer's back. Oh my god, and Giant Slayer is way more OP than it used to be. Way more OP than it used to be. Like, you actually don't have to do anything for Giant Slayer to be active now.
They didn't change cut down though, bro. What happened to my fucking go cut down? Dude, I used to run cut down on Ziggs. I mean, I still do. I'm gonna be honest. But
I mean, it's pretty good though. Like,
yeah, but old cut down. So it used to be because everyone playing Ziggs into tanks would be like, oh, he does no damage to tanks. It was me, brother. I'd go Leandries, right? I'd go cut down, and then there'd be a tank who'd walk through my minefield and they'd lose 60% of the HP, and they'd be like, what is going on? I'm like, brother, I'm murdering you. You are dead now.
I remember there was one clip you showed me with that build, like with the tank kill build, like Leandri's BFT, and it was a tank. I think they didn't have a lot of MR, but it was still hilarious. They walked through your minefield. It was like level 15, so it's like full maxed almost, and they just went from 100% HP to 40% HP. Just off the minefield and like nothing else. It was so jokes.
Dude, the damage is crazy. It's insane. It's so high. Okay, I'm gonna eat dinner. But
Okay.
I'll run later probably.
Sure, bro. No problem.
Have fun. Peace.
Later. Bye-bye. Okay, guys. It's just us now. It's just us. We need this. What's this? Ziggs nuke. We kind of do. If we're gonna have... We're gonna have Orcs. Orcs is gonna be around a lot more. For a little bit, whilst he's in Europe. So we'll be duoing with him quite a little bit during the solo queue hours. So it'll be good fun. Man, I kind of need to take my bonnet off. I can't have my bonnet on all day. And I'm feeling a little bit hot. Yeah, Orcs will be back, because I just went to go leave the call, and he's actually still in the call but deafened, so... I think he is actually just going to eat dinner and then come back. But now we can focus on the game a little bit. I hope you guys enjoyed the convo, though. Convo was fun and interesting. And I'm still very mad about those quests, the quest lines. Yes, dude. Like, Orcs and I are just good friends, which helps. But, League is just more fun when you're duo with people, man. There's really not that much else to say. Top scene's okay or not? I think it's going to be really broken for some of those champs that scale particularly well off of XP or levels. So, like, I think all of the Juggernauts, for example, are going to be way more OP next season. Like, Garen, Olaf... Set, Darius, Ilaoi, Mordekaiser, like those champs are going to be way more annoying. Orc sounds less crisp than in broadcast. Yeah, it's because he's on a headset mic. You can tell. Yeah, so like the raid boss champs are going to be far more annoying. For sure. I don't think these changes are going to lead to different champs getting played, TBH. I don't think that's going to happen. The only thing that might happen is some different AD carries might pop up more, because I don't know if I showed you guys. Well, I definitely did one late night. I was showing some of the items. Some of the items off on new patch, because I have access to it. And yeah, let's just say some of the items... once completed, will be pretty obnoxious, for sure. Excuse me. They'll be far more obnoxious. What do you think of the top best designed champs? And why is Anivia one of them? No, to be fair, I think Anivia is a good shout. I know you slash S'd it someone, but I don't think you could hate Anivia. Like, very simple champion. Her missile speed on her ability is, you know, one of her more important abilities is very what do you call it, slow, so it's reactable. Her kit is simple, it's very readable. Honestly, Anivia might be up there, I'm not even kidding. Like, she does what she does exceptionally well. I would say, obviously, it goes without saying, Thresh. Thresh, top 5 best design champs. Thresh, Anivia. I'm not using this as bias, but I actually do think Bard is a good shout. Yes, I agree with the Jhin shout too. Jhin is a very, very good shout. Who else? Thresh is a bit dated, no? I mean, I think he's dated for the modern game, but like, I don't think you can fault the actual kit design. Like, the actual design of the kit is great. Like the actual design of the kit is incredible, right? Yeah, like, I know a lot of people hate playing with Bard, the champion, but like, the design of the champ is still very good. I would say the problem that I have with Renekton is, even though I would agree that he meets a lot of the categorical reasons to be a well-designed champion, I think he's too contingent on items and their strength. And like, the annoyance of how good or bad he is depending on what bruiser item he can abuse comparatively to the other champions I'm talking about, where it's like, their designs are just good and they're universally like playable a lot of the time. Let me bring up the champ list. Let's see. Okay, I know people might not like this shout. I actually think Swain is maybe not a top 5 candidate, but I think he's on the better half of well-designed. Humble opinion. I think on like multiple levels. Wow, that Bardar just barely missed. Oh, it's because Smash ghosted. Okay. Here's one I know everyone will hate. Ivern. I think Ivern is really well designed. Whether you agree or disagree is completely up to you. Hot take, Feast or Famine champs are all poorly designed. Yeah. Would I say? I mean, no, I disagree with that. I think like, if a champion, like, I don't think Feast or Famine champions are poorly designed. Like, if it is by design that they are like that, then I think it's fine. LS would not hate. Bro, you know what? Guys, I'm not gonna lie. So, when I was younger, when I was like 15, 16, I was a very big LS fan. I was a very big fan of LS. And I came across... Hold on. I came across my old Twitch channel the other day. Do you want to know what the title was? Do you want to know what the title was on my last stream? Let me see if I can find it. The last title on my stream was Smurfing in Plat, the Black LS, or Black LS. Bro, I was locked in. LJ, Last Jamada, aka LeBron James. Bro. I bring it up for a sec. Look this. How adorable is this? Good night, Smash. Guys, how adorable is this? How adorable is this? The Black LS. Because philosophically, I was very in line with a lot of the things that he believed about the game at the time as well. Like, that was for sure something. Oh my god, yeah, Gangplank. Yeah. Bro, Gangplank is up there for sure. Yeah, man, like, that was so funny finding that. Oh, Pays. He's fine. Yeah, it was so funny finding that. At least my heart was in the right place. Yes, bro. 15, 16-year-old me was very different to adult me now. Lee Sin is peak design. I can get behind Lee Sin. Yep, I can get behind Lee Sin. Oh, sorry. At least your username wasn't something weird? Yo, no, like, legit, it was just my first... It was like the initial of my first name at the end of my name and my last name. I've never had any, like, weird username habits or tendencies. I think having weird usernames is odd. Milio is a good design? Yeah. Yeah, I think Milio is well designed. I can get behind that. What about Rel, but specifically when she was a jungler? Nah. Unfortunately not. No, I think if LS heard that, he would cringe out of his fucking mind, bro. I think what he would do is he'll do that silly ass giggle and go, what? Like, what? Are you serious? And then I'll be like, yeah. And then he would like call me a cringe loser or something and then like laugh about it more, but like in a more jestful, joking way. Ooh, Janna. I can get behind Janna. Yeah. Janna's well designed. And I don't think her kit can ever be, like, I don't think her kit is dated. The only thing they could ever really do is, like, basically make it more anti-modern League of Legends champs, you know? Yeah, I mean, I would agree with Annie, but the problem with Annie now is that, like, she has to be in a position where her numbers are all jacked up to be good. Okay, so we're going to 2-1. Going to 2-1 here. No way DK come back. I know the result of the series, yeah. It's like a soft, like, it's like a soft, soft spoiler-free. Like, I know that when people watch the VOD, or if they're here watching live from YouTube, they might not know the results of the series, but I will always, like, kind of caution people to understand that I am going to talk about the results of the series sometimes. So, yeah. That's basically it. Like, I know the results, I know what happens, I just don't know how it happens. And that is game 3. I mean, kind of a slacking. GK didn't really have a place to breathe. Let's pump up game 4. And whilst we are getting game 4 up and running, I am going to run a minute of ads just on the Twitch side. So so that the pre-rolls can stay off the people on the Twitch end. So if you're watching the YouTube VOD and this isn't live, then skip about a minute and a half ahead and you should be in game. I'll see you in 60 seconds. Pardon me. Pardon me again. Also, okay, because there's actually a sizable YouTube audience, I'm going to ask you guys a question, if you don't mind. I'm going to do something which is purely for science, because I haven't had enough people active in the in that chat to know. I'm going to hit the advertisement button. Can you please tell me what it does? Because there is no way to change anything on this side, and I just kind of want to know what it says or does. If you have adblock or like premium, then you obviously it won't affect you, but I just want to know what it does. So I'm gonna press the button real quick. It just says ads inserted. And even when I do learn more, it doesn't really tell me anything. Also, the Twitch ads are done. Yes, Twitch ads are done. Okay.
Is totally bogus your thing? Why are you so boring?
It does actually play ads. It gave me a 15-second ad. Okay, thank you. That's all I needed to know. It does actually play ads. It gave you 15-second ads. Nothing for you. Okay, so it's a bit random. Probably. It is for when people do watch back after lives over and no, it's like a live thing. That's what I'm saying. It's really weird. It's not like Twitch where on Twitch you can run on Twitch you can run 30 seconds of ads up to 3 minutes. Yeah, YouTube is very strange. It's very strange. But I do think it's fine for me to hit the add button at the same time as Twitch, I guess. Unfortunately, guys, I have to monetize myself this year because I'm not working a broadcast, so I do have to make some... I have to squeeze you guys. I do not particularly enjoy it, but I have to engage in capitalism. I have to engage in capitalism. Yeah, Jamada the capitalist. Shake my head. Yeah, I can definitely... I'm probably going to start doing some individual coaching. I'm going to start doing some individual coaching. The only thing is that it is a bit time-consuming against the money that I'm kind of comfortable, like, charging. Because, okay, I'm going to be very blunt, right? Outside of the fact that I haven't been a high elo player for a little while, I should realistically be charging, like, north, just north or around, like, 100 USD an hour. Maybe even a bit more than that. Uh-oh. Ooh. Yeah. But I don't really want to charge more than, like, 50. Like, I really don't want to price people out of information and, like, knowledge. But I also have to, you know, make sure I'm compensated for my time appropriately, you know? So it's just one of those things. I have to figure out what I'm comfortable charging. And again, I always have these kind of conversations very openly, right? Like, I have to figure out what I'm comfortable charging and kind of try to find that nice little fine balance between I feel like I'm getting good money for my time and I'm not fleecing the people coming in to get coached. I feel like Black LS should get top dollar. Yeah, probably. But then also, like, I'm not gonna lie, if I'm just being real, because of the services that I would be offering, like, if you're willing to pay for my coaching, like, high key, You should get coaching from some of the other dedicated coaches out there. Like Perry is a good example. I don't know what Perry charges, but Perry is a great coach. Obviously, I think Vagar still has his Patreon, right? I don't want to sell myself short, but like these guys are a lot more fully dedicated to all of that. So it's just generally probably going to be a little bit more net positive in terms of output for input. Don't buy Oblivion Orb, that'll be $500. Dude, I miss old LS. Not that new LS is bad or anything, but I miss like that era of LS. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. Oh, I need to give it a related video. Maybe we could do like group coaching and charge everybody less individually. That's kind of true actually, perhaps, yeah. Who are you talking about? I don't know if it's Michaelino or Michael or some other slightly Michelo. Sorry, bro, my brain. But yeah, who are you talking about? Is this Prime? Oh, Prime LS. Yeah, I mean it's just like, you know, it's the lore of, you know, geniuses are often like shunned for their ideas before they're proven to actually just be correct. You know, like that happens a lot. No, I'm not calling Alessa inherently a genius, but he is pretty damn fucking smart, right? Yo, these Uric ghouls look fun as hell. Has there been a single Cho picked into Uric this Kespa? Hell, this might be the first Uric I've seen all Kespa. I've watched every single Kespa game pretty much. Bar a few. What kind of coaching are you thinking of doing? VOD review or live coaching? So I do a mix of both. The way that I used to, so okay, here's the way that I used to run my my coaching sessions. What I would do is so if someone paid me to coach them, I would say, okay, go away and play me, you know, a few example games, and then we'll take a look at them. You know, we'll get your earnest opinion on some of the games, and then we'll actually VOD review the game. And then we'll VOD review the game, and I will break apart and look at things that are, you know, happening inside of the game, see if there's any habits that I can pick up. And that's usually what I focus on the most as a coach personally, is I train habits. I'm a habit trainer. Now, obviously, I can also, like, because I played the game so long, I played multiple different roles. Very good, like, you know, individual micro matchup knowledge, depending on the role and the champions. A lot of different things that I can provide, but habits are the main thing that I focus on. So we'll do the VOD review, we'll focus on the habits, and, like, any tendencies that I notice and I pick up from that game. And as long as the other person is being honest with me, they'll get the most out of the coaching, right? So I'll say, hey, is this something that you do regularly? Right? Is this a one-off? Etc., etc. And I'll really try and make sure that I ask a line of questioning that kind of gets them to open up and really kind of look very retrospectively at their gameplay. And then once we've done that review, depending on what kind of time it was, one of two things. I'll do one of two things. I'll either say, okay, that's the session, right? Your homework is to now build on those things that we spoke about and apply those habits more proactively now that they've been pointed out to you inside of the next couple of games, right? So I want you to go away and play some games for me and show me that you can apply those habits, right? So then in the next session, we'll probably do a VOD review and we'll also do a live game. And so on and so forth. And then we kind of just go in that kind of cycle of doing things. Oh, Smash, just die in peace, bro. Are you out? No. Yeah, so that's generally how I do coaching. So to answer your question in a very short manner, both. I do both. I do live coaching and I do VOD review. Very, very comfortable doing both. It just really depends on what the person wants. Yeah, I mean, habits is the main thing. Like, what I will always say is, whilst I do feel like I have the ability to teach people how to be good at the champion they're playing, I will always get them to be a better League of Legends player overall, as opposed to the specific champion. Yep, true FIR. So yeah, I'll always teach people how to be good League of Legends players. That's how my coaching kind of works. So I'm thinking about opening up one-on-one coaching soon, to be honest. Again, it's just another means of income that I think I should probably just look to explore moving into next year. I just haven't really figured out pricing yet. Pricing is something that I will definitely need to figure out. I think the best thing to probably do is I'd probably just think about my work day when I was casting. Like a work day as I was casting, and split it by the hour. Basically, like, divide it by like 8. Would definitely depend on what broadcast I was on, but yeah. Like, let me see. Let's open up the calculator. If I was on this much a day and I divided it by 8, and it was technically longer. If like a call time is like 1:30, I'm in the studio till like 11. Yeah. I mean, I think if I'm to do it reasonably, it's gonna be north of 70, less than 100 roughly. And then who knows? I might have some kind of might have a loyalty bonus. It's actually something I used to do when I was a lot less known. I would charge less the more coaching sessions that you got, if you like happen to be getting them individually. So like back in the day, I'd only charge like £30. So it's like, okay, you got one coaching session for £30. The next one would be 25. Yeah. Or if you wanted to bulk buy, then I would. If you wanted to buy on the spot and you wanted to get like 5 coaching sessions, and each session is normally £30, obviously that would typically be like 150. I would only charge you like 120. You know, so you paid for like 4, but you get 5. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, this game is very spooky. I mean, I know the result of this game, and I'm sure there are a lot of people in here that also know the result of this game. But it's like, this looks bad. What I'll say. Could you articulate what you mean by this looks bad? This game looks like it's going to be over in a short amount of time. Perhaps 13 minutes. Just make more generic courses about how to bear a league more generally and sell them for like $15. That's also true. Like I could try and make like some very cheap you know, cheap material for people to try and learn and understand, like little content bundles and stuff. I mean, I think that the thing is, there are a lot of things on YouTube that are just free anyway to learn, so I don't want to like put my air quotes opinion on some of these things behind a paywall. Like, it doesn't really make sense for some of the more like broader things. But I understand for some people, like, they'll buy into it still, right? So it's important that like stuff like that exists. I don't know. I am kind of banking a lot on the content that I'm going to be making next year, because it's going to be educational, informative, editorial. I know that word might be a little bit strange to apply to League. Oh, Shiwu. Boss. Okay, Doran. Where like I'm going to be doing like Telestrator content, for example, on my channel, like fight breakdown, game breakdown, sequence breakdown of pro games on my channel, which is going to be really, really fun. And it's going to be super high quality, and I'm looking forward to it a lot. So yeah, if you happen to have found the stream and that like sounds interesting to you on the YouTube side, like don't forget the channel. Like sub up, all that like self-selling nonsense, because that'll be around from when the pro season starts. Any co-streaming? So I'll be co-streaming the LPL pretty regularly. Usually only the big games, to be honest. I'm not waking up for, you know, bad RNG versus, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not waking up for bad games like that. But the big games, you can definitely catch me co-streaming for sure. I do have something on the table, hopefully, that is not just LPL, but I can't talk about it yet. And hopefully I will hear more soon. And I'll be able to announce some of that stuff. But co-streaming is mostly going to be LPL live. And if people want to do it, or want me to do it, and it's just a nice place to hang out and chill, I could definitely just live view the LEC. Like, I could totally just live view the LEC. Like, it's not going to be the same as co-streaming, right? Live viewing, obviously, like, the only thing that's going to be on the screen is the scoreboard, and it's just, like, me, some music, and the scoreboard, you know? And then that's it. You're going to be on LPL English? Nah, I only really help those guys out if they are lacking personnel. But I have a lot of love for LPL English. And the work that they're doing over there is incredible. And just very selfless, you know? Like, very, very, very selfless. If I had to guess, I'll bet the most common bad habit or misconception about League is predominantly a fighting game. Yes. Probs. Probably. Yeah, this game is an absolute stomp. And I'm not gonna lie, like, if there's one thing, and even though I do hate some of the, like, AI integration and some of the tooling, but if there's one thing that is definitely very, very useful, it is the YouTube dashboard. And where is it? Is it like the inspiration tab? What is it again? I need to go find it. There's like there's a tab somewhere. I don't know where it is, but there's a tab that's like... There's a tab that's like, yeah, so, here's what people are searching up right now. Like, here's the most popular search in, like, adjacent to this topic that you are making videos on right now. And it's super OP in my opinion. Yeah, like, I don't mind that. I don't mind that either. But, like, there are other, like, bro, oh my god. I'll wait for this game to... I'll wait for this game to end. I'll find it, and I'll wait for this game to end, and I'll show you. Like, it's so... Ooh, it's weird. Is it on the... Where is it? Analytics? I mean, this game is going to end soon. I can tell you that. It's under trends, I think. I mean, this game is kind of a wash, but I don't want to like for the YouTube VOD watchers. I don't want to just randomly bring this up mid game. Yeah, it's telling you what you could make. It's like guidelines, basically. Like training wheels if you're out of ideas or whatever. Oh, I mean, to be fair, Kalski, it's like... It's just very broadly generic stuff. So, like, I'll read out some of them where it's like, you know, what are people looking for? Low beginner top lane champions. Every league rank explained. League buffs and nerfs. What role should I play? Like, there's that, and that's very simple and, like, harmless. But then there's a whole section, which I couldn't find, which is under inspiration. And I'll just scroll this tab, and, oh, it's so evil. It's generating stuff for me right now. Like, I haven't even asked it to generate this stuff. It's generating it for me right now. Oh, it's so icky. I think they did get rid of the trending tab. But like your videos can still be trending. Or some nonsense like that. I don't know if you get to the trending tab the same dedicated way that you used to, basically. Wow, that was so awesome. And now Yurik is going to sit here and kind of just heal off the inhib. I mean, this game was kind of doomed from draft, especially once Faker started to get rolling a little, and Hayes has won pretty much every interaction. Wow, Hayes actually got stunned by that. Well, they're not going to end here, but they're pretty damn close. Yeah, exactly. Like the panel doesn't exist anymore, but like the URL on, you can still access it basically.
And for my English fans, rest assured, friend, I am not that.
Kenny Rogers, thanks so much for the follow. Welcome in, man. A little bit of both. It's just a little bit of both. Like, I think this draft was always going to be kind of hard to play for DK. Like, I think Yurik is always going to be annoying to side lane into. I think that the side lanes look better in general for T1. Team fighting is very difficult to get started for DK into a lot of T1's, like, comp. And, yeah, the top gap just ended up being a bit too much over the course of the game. Okay. Pays is trying to make the game interesting. I blame this series on CV Max. You know what? I agree. Let's all blame this series on CV Max right now, collectively. Let's all of us just blame it on CV Max right now. Anyone who actually disagrees, say aye. And no one's gonna say aye. Yeah, he did something evil once this series was done. Yep, that's just material for the second documentary. You are correct. Well, you know what? I might as well. I'll play a little bit of music. Well, well, well. We're going to game 5. We are going Silver Scrapes. Can you believe it? All right. Here we go, guys. I am gonna run Twitch ads. I guess I'm going to run ads on YouTube as well. Like, there is no drawback for me. And I'm unemployed, so I'm not gonna lie, you guys on YouTube are just gonna have to firm it. At least they're short, seemingly, so there's that. Which is very good. That at least makes me a little bit happy. And let's see how this game goes. We'll wait for those Twitch ads to run out. That'll be about a minute and a half. Another Doran disaster class incoming? Oh, hell no, surely not. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like, Kalski, the fact that they end up with Pays is just insane. And I think he's a well-suited player, you know, for this, like, T1 configuration. You didn't get a YouTube ad, that's fine. There will be some people that do. And I know it will agitate some people and etc, but I have to press the button and I have to make a little bit of extra change on top. It's just what it is. It's that or I go homeless. Choose. Alright, let's go, guys. I'm looking forward to this. Looks like it has the potential to be a banger. Very explosive team comps, both sides. But I noticed someone said Doran Disaster Class, and Doran is on Olaf of all games. Sorry to steal your penny with my ad. Never apologize for having ad block, bro. Like, ads are the most annoying, disgusting thing on the internet and on a lot of these platforms. Wait, how did Lucid... How did... Was he not behind... What? Did he just... Was there... Oh, it was his Q, bro. I legit thought it was an auto. I legit thought it was an auto attack. You know what, years ago I got told, and I think my voice has changed a little bit. It's a little more like, I don't want to say raspy, but it's just a bit more weathered than when I was younger. But people said that I could legit start an ASMR channel and it would probably do well. And I always laughed at it, and I'll never do it. Like, oh god, I could never just sit there and whisper into like a condenser mic with both the nah, that's not me. Even like, I'm not gonna lie, the only way I'll do it, I'll just be honest, you gotta be paying me 6 figures. If it's paying me 6 figures, I'm there. 6 figures to just talk? Yo, like, sign me up. It's not far off what I do anyway. But it has to specifically be 6 figures. Okay, Doran is doing the funny haha hee hee Olaf thing. She did not respect it. Why do I feel like this is volatile last lane? And one jungler is pathing towards it, the other jungler isn't. Ooh. Gulp. Okay, Lucid is going to do one camp into reset. I'll be needing a detailed analysis of the atrocity I witnessed at the Icon fight. Okay. Aren't these the games that are being played today? As in they were played earlier today / last night, depending on your time zone? Yes. And we are currently watching game 5. I need to update the score. No one told me I need to update the score. Score has now been updated. Oh my goodness. Oh, top lane is getting freaky. Oh yeah, Yasin, that's what's going on here. Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem. Wow. Korea was just like, let me pop that little health stimmy real quick, man. This ain't looking too hot. Oh man, they're getting dove. Let's see it. Oh! Okay, he's still gonna die, but Owner is now extra dead. It wasn't clean from Owner. I'm surprised Lucid doesn't want to just beeline it down here. Oh, it's because he can do this. Okay. That makes sense. Okay, you've kind of got me concerned about what happens at Atacon now. This just looks...
And for my English fans, rest assured, friend, I am not that big-nosed gorilla.
It is a disaster class. It's... Oh, it's gonna do a thing, isn't it? Lord Lachuse, thanks so much for the follow. I'm assuming it's like that and not Lordal Chuz. Okay. I mean, the rend is still... Oh, down to 49. It's a bit awkward. Showmaker gets the first kill. Korea's gonna die here. They can't really do too much. Showmaker has to hit a charm. He's got it. Is he gonna get a reset on his ult? He is. Okay, this is big. They can play time and space here. Oh, Showmaker. No. No, 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 Showmaker. No, 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 Showmaker. Oh, he just had to be patient there, I think. Did he miss the flash knock up? I think I did. I'm not gonna go back though. I don't want to rewind. Sorry, I was replying to some DMs. I had a lot of DMs on my phone. Okay, that guy's extra dead. Oh, good satchel. Okay. Get Carrier's flash as well. That feels good. That feels really good. The Marcia Cup will be in the morning for me, yeah. But I don't know if I'm going to be watching the Marcia Cup live. There will be like a fair few places to watch the Marcia Cup. If anything, what I might do is I might watch the games. I might watch the games back on YouTube, like on stream. And the reason why I'll watch them back is because I maybe want to do some analytical content on them, but I need to figure out whether or not I'm going to have the tools I need to make the content that I would like to make first. I think Andrew, pretty much they knew for a while that Guma was probably going to leave. Like, I was saying it for a very long time that I had it on pretty reasonable authority that Guma was going to leave from, like, July. Like, to me, I think once the Smash situation happened, Guma was never going to stay. That's how I viewed it. It would have been very unlikely that he stuck around. Like, I don't think Guma wanted to be second fiddle. Oh. Gonna get this guy's flash. Oh, Carrier predicted the flash! Oh, but he's getting berserked onto his own minions. Ah, Shivar. Is that respect? I mean, yeah, to a point. I mean, I just don't feel like Guma wanted to be in an environment where he felt like his position was threatened. Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely agree. Like, I think that Guma had... Like, I think a lot of, especially T1 fans, look at it in a very negative lens. Because I just don't think a lot of that cohort of the fan base understands sports and the way that things work in the real world, right? They'd just gotten rid of the reason why they'd won Worlds in Zeus, right? One of the driving factors as to why they won Worlds in Zeus and the way that the team functioned last year. Having Doran and Guma in the same team meant that they'd have to explore not just philosophically how they wanted to play the game, but also draft and who they on average wanted to try and give more economy to and all these different things. And Guma, he is not like a... He's not like a one-trick type of jungler, AD carry. But he obviously specializes in the picks that he specializes in, right? He specializes in the picks that he specializes in. And then he can play some other champs, but like it's not particularly comfortable. So, enter Smash, which is this would happen in a football team, for example, right? Let's say, for example, you're, for argument's sake, let's say, and I know this might go over the heads of a few people, but let's say you play a 4-3-3 in football. And that formation, normally what that means, you've got two wingers up front, attacking, running up and down the sides of the pitch. And usually, your striker, the person who's scoring your goals, will be someone that's tall and powerful and, you know, he's a target man, right? That traditionally in football. Let's imagine that's how T1 were playing League of Legends, right? But instead of having, you know, this tall in like moving between 24 and 23, 5, sorry. They have, you know, this in Zeus, and that's how Zeus was playing the game. But then they lose Zeus, right? And things have to get shifted around, and no longer do they have Zeus, and they're in a situation where they have to now put Guma in that position. But Guma's not the tall, like, power forward that you need in that formation. He's your small technical guy who's good on his feet, but he's not good in the air. So you've got to change how you approach the game, and I think that's what T1 were doing when they subbed in Smash, right? That's what they were doing when they subbed in Smash. Oh gosh, that's what they're doing when they subbed in Smash. They wanted to see if they could actually get a configuration that made more sense, right? They wanted to see if they could get a configuration that made more sense. And as they were doing that, it felt like they wanted to stick with Smash more because he probably just offered a little bit more in terms of versatility for the team with Doran top, right? Because the actual issue is Doran. Like, Doran as a player is the issue. Not Guma, like Doran. Doran is the issue. But they have an AD carry that they can play in the LCK, they feel like, in Smash. They probably don't have someone in top that they can do, right? So, they swap out Smash. They're swapping in between both of them. Whatever's going on behind the scenes is going on behind the scenes. And then they land predominantly on trying to use Smash a bit more for the hyper carries. And where it makes sense, you bring in Guma, right? Some of the bigger heavy-hitting games, maybe. Where you know he's going to be able to play his champs. And that was kind of where they were at. And they hadn't really committed to anyone as of then. And then Joe Marsh just comes in and he's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Guma's starting. And he just overrides the entire coach thing. And the hilarious part is that their winter split, obviously by results, looks bad. But when you look at it, if you watch winter, like they were good. Like, obviously, I think, and I use this argument, and it was a little bit cheap, where it's like, you know, they finished 5th, 6th. It's hard, like the format kind of made them finish 5th, 6th, right? Like they're playing against HLE first round. But eye test, they weren't that bad, but it's hard to really gauge with such little like rift time how strong that T1 team was. And coming into spring, they weren't like struggling hard. It's just a team that's trying to find their footing. But Joe Marsh over it just said Guma's in, and then that was the end of it. But whilst Guma was subbed out, he was learning, you know, Ezreal, Kai'Sa a little bit. He picked up Corki, even though his first showing on Corki was horrendous. Yeah, his first showing on Corki was horrendous, but then over the course of the year, honestly, it kind of turned into one of his best champions. So yeah. I'd interpret it as a motivational technique. Nah. That was a team that was trying to figure out whether or not they could run a 6-man roster. In my opinion, my interpretation is they wanted to know if they could run a 6-man, and they wanted to know how versatile Smash was, how good Smash was, and yeah, like at the same time in that situation, depending on what's going on behind the scenes, and we will never know because we are not the players, we are not the coaching staff. Depending on how that situation is handled, right? That is gonna change how people interpret their worth on that lineup. And to me, it seemed like Guma interpreted that his worth wasn't high to T1, right? And then it also created this whole weird thing in the fan base where you've got the T1 fans, you know, very, very to the ends of the earth defending Guma and like using all of these very arbitrary things of like, you know, he's a world XYZ world champ. Like, how can you be subbing out this guy then when he's done this and that for the August? Like, I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't matter. In sports, it doesn't matter. Like, the way that I view, but this is the direction that esports is going in, right? I don't think any player should realistically ever be bigger than the club. And I think when you're at the size of an organization like T1, I think it's more true than anything. I think it's more true than anything. When you're playing for an org, you should be willing to, like, you know what I mean? Like, you should be sacrificing. But yeah. That's what that situation was to me. It was just very silly. Waters, I've not really been keeping up with Challenger League Korea, but I would assume that T1's academy is churning some good players. I hope it's good. Whoa. Okay. Can they get the Drake? They can. Oh my god. What the fuck? Guys, everyone hold your breath. DK is 6k up. Hold on a second. We might have to lock in. But yes, I agree, Andrew. I am very excited to see this bot lane. Oh my god. Guys, they just aced them at 18 minutes. Oh, Lucid's dead. Okay. Surely Damwon can't lose from this position. Surely. Oh my god. And they just got Ziggs bot tier 2 solo gold. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. You think sports betting influences games too? Nah. No. I think people never really put like an accurate weighing on that kind of stuff. People think it like really heavily influences it. I just don't think it does really. Oh, he did have 1k gold shut down. All right. Yeah, that's what I would. That is what I would like. That is what I would expect. That is what I would expect. When was this match? This was approximately 12 hours ago. This game was approximately 12 hours ago. The final is tomorrow. Yeah, final is tomorrow. If you are in the United States and you have Disney Plus, you can now actually watch it, which is nice. But if you're not in SEE or North America and don't have Disney Plus, then you cannot watch it. Oh, Andrew, I appreciate that, man. That's really kind. I mean, honestly, it just kind of, the casting stuff kind of just is what it is now. Like, I don't think I'll be casting tier 1 ever again. I think the likelihood is very low. Unless I, like, happen to be in Berlin and they, you know, like, someone's sick and it's like, hey, guys, Jamada is, like, in Berlin. We should ask him if he's free and wants to work. Like, that's the only way that I would probably work on the LEC. And then as for tier 1, like, same thing kind of applies for Korea, you know, like, when am I ever going to be in Korea whilst the LCK is on? Probably never.
And for my English fans, rest assured, friend,
yeah, like,
I am not that big-nosed gorilla.
If you consider casting Riftbound, I think there's a real chance it's growing. The first regional event got 70k viewers already. I'm not really a trading card guy, man. I'm not really a card game guy. Like, I really am just... I'm in love with League of Legends. League of Legends is my game. So, you know, I'll make my own way. It's not a problem. Okay, Korea. Korea? Oh, no. Oh, Lucid, bro. It's fine, Siru. Yes. No, but they're not killing Paze and the Chant missed. Oh, God. And Paze just got another big shutdown. Do you like TFT? I actually used to like TFT a fair bit, yeah. I used to be big on TFT. Oh my god, Paze is going to get a penta. Bro, there's been so many pentas this... Just kill him. Yeah. There's been so many pentas this Kespa Cup. Everybody's a card game guy. Not everyone knows it yet, but I respect you being in love with League. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, I just really rock with League so much more. Well, that's it, guys. T1 are going to win. Something like this happens, that's what it is. I didn't mind TFT when I used to play it, like when it first came out, but I'm not really like big into it now. Though I heard the new set is pretty fun, so I might give it a chance. Yes, in my main, if you're asking like what role I main, is jungle. And then I don't really have like a main champion, but like the champs I play the most are like Kayn, Ivern, Aatrox. Yeah, those are like probably the big three. I mean, you know, it's funny, Soundwave, because for me, League actually turned me into less of a holistic gamer. Like, I used to actually play a lot of, a variety of games. Like, I used to play a lot of games, a lot of different kinds of games, but, League really kind of limited my overall, like, game pool. So I'm working on that now. Like, I've got a brand new PC. It is a NASA PC. And I'm just looking to go through a backlog of some of the more, like, popular games. And, like, media that I've missed out on. Like, the start of the year, I played through the God of War series, which was awesome. I recently started Cyberpunk, which has been very, very fun. I'm also streaming Expedition 33, my playthrough of Expedition 33. So, yeah. I'm really trying to just make sure I'm playing all of those big games more and more, because I miss it. Does it help more if we watch on YouTube or Twitch? I would say I would definitely prefer if people were over on Twitch, admittedly. Just because I feel like it's important over time that my Twitch platform grows. Even like I think it's as much. Like if you're watching the streams, I'd appreciate if you're on Twitch. Just because I think it's easier and the community is just nicer. Like, not to say that there isn't a community on YouTube, by the way. Like, I've noticed, like, I'm starting to have over the last week, like, regulars on the YouTube stream. And, like, peace and love to you guys. You guys are fucking awesome. But, yeah, like, I think the community for me has always been on Twitch and then, like, subsequently on Discord. But do whatever is most comfortable for you. Like, yeah, like... Yeah, like, more than anything, you being here and talking in either I don't care. Like, that's awesome to me. That's what I'm about. And yes, Yasin Amber is answering your question for me. Normally, it just depends on how much I play the game. I'm not, like, super into it. Yo, Andrew, thanks so much for the gift, man. Oh, not the gift, for the 1 month. Much love. I appreciate that, brother. Twitch pays more too. So you know what? Funnily enough, it doesn't. YouTube actually pays more. You only make more on Twitch if people are subscribing and donating and stuff like that. Now that I've got my YouTube channel monetized, my YouTube live VODs make money, like, compared to Twitch, where it's like, if assuming nobody subs when I stream, etc., and it's just like passive ad income, I'm making like pennies a stream, pretty much. Oh no. Oh, DK, this is a horrible throw, man. But yeah, I make pennies on Twitch. At least on YouTube, I make like a couple of pounds a day, like a couple of euros a day. And then like over time, I think the last 2 VODs or so, yeah, that Renata save was great. These last couple of VODs, these are the ones that are gonna make a little bit of money. Like, it's nothing crazy, but you know, I'm in a position financially where I'm comfortable financially, but because I don't have a broadcast to rely on, I'm in like a weird transitional phase where it's like I'm trying to monetize myself and my time a lot more efficiently. So yeah, that's why, like, you know, I'm streaming on YouTube. It's more coverage. People are subscribed to my YouTube, but probably don't even know that I stream on Twitch, right? So yeah, that's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about. I think if you max Twitch ads, you might make more. Nah, you don't make a lot of ads. Unless you're a big streamer, like, you don't make a lot of ads, ad money. Like, I've had more people in my streams than usual over the last, like, week because I've been watching Kespa Cup. And let's just say, for argument's sake, over the course of these streams, I've been averaging like 30 viewers on Twitch. Sometimes a little bit more. I am barely making like $1.20. And I'm running the pre-roll like 3 minutes for every hour. I am running that efficiently. I'm not taking the piss and running more ads than I have to. but I'm running the 3 minutes per hour, and I'm barely, I haven't cleared $2 from just Twitch ads, a single stream. We can't rewind on Twitch. Yeah, no, you have to be subscribed to the channel or you have to have Turbo, which is really annoying. But one thing, like, if you do decide to watch on Twitch, what's always good is if it's something to do with League, I'll always stream it. So you will always be able to come to the VOD on YouTube and just go back. I know it's, like, less convenient, but at least, like, know that if I'm streaming YouTube, like, something to do with League of Legends, the functionality for that will be there. Bless these poor souls with the only way for them to watch Kespa Cup being you. Bro, legit, like, it is so despicable that it's, like, region locked and shit, man. But honestly, everyone that's in here and that's being active and stuff, Aragon, is, like, really nice. Like, every person on both chats are just super, super kind. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that, man. Thank you, my heart. Thank you. Yeah, and it's like, even if I'm not, like, I'll be honest, like, moving into next year, I'm probably not going to be on a broadcast. But I will definitely be making content. Like, I'll definitely be making YouTube content. YouTube content is going to be lit next year. And it's going to be regular, too. But I've got to say, I will miss casting. Would you still be doing VOD reviews? Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll still be doing VOD reviews regularly. Doing VOD reviews. I'll be doing breakdowns, like actual more like serious like sessions where I am focusing more analytically on the games. 100%. Thank you, FC. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Seriously. Like, it is genuinely my pleasure. Oh, I mean, I think the more impressive thing about this game is just that DK were up 7k cold. Like, shout out to T1 and, you know, Pays and Carrier for the 1v9 here. DK were up 7k gold.